17 answers so far. That means there's only 16 ice cream bars because I'm going to go limit. Okay, 17. All right, there we go. All right, which college? Oh, better go study some more. The answer was the College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences. Dr. Matt Wooler is faculty at the College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences and director of the Alaska Stable Isotope Facility, which isn't a WERC, which is, in fact, in the College of Engineering and Mines. But you had to have all three in common. Dr. Wooler and his research and the team appeared in the Journal of Science this past year. Dr. Andy Seitz is an internationally recognized expert in fish migration and behavior and a professor in the College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences. And Fane Elmore is a second-year student in the College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences and a member of the UAF Honors College, and her career goal is to earn a PhD in chemical oceanography and conduct research on climate-driven ocean acidification and nutrient transport in Arctic environments, and she also wants to teach at the university level, and I am told that might be here at UAF. So thank you, each of you, for participating, and thank you to those who guessed, especially those who guessed the College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences. Thank you. Okay, let's talk a few more milestones. Celebrating 75 years of the Geophysical Institute, and I want to do a shout out to Regent John Davies, who was part of the GI for more than half of that. Not sure if I'm allowed to say that, because you might do the math and realize that for 40 years, John Davies, as a student and as a scientist, contributed to the research and the success of the Geophysical Institute. Thank you, Regent Davies. And it was also at the same time, the same day, and celebrated at the same place, the 30th anniversary of the Alaska Satellite Facility. This year also, we recognized 50 years of the Seward Marine Center. So thanks, and let's celebrate those accomplishments that lead to this being a world-class research university. Okay. Now, I'm expecting a little better results on this one, but it's time for another game, and I'd like to invite to assist Rafe Johnson Kennedy, Ana Gagne Haas, and Joe Malbert Narvaez. Please. Okay. All right, Rafe, what do you got?
Well, members of this campus recently visited Finland to learn from and collaborate the Sami Education Institute.
Ooh, Finland. Sounds nice. All right. I want to say thanks to you, Ray, for your 18 years working for UAF facilities. And thanks to your team and all you do to keep UAF safe and looking great.
Thank you.
Anna, please read your clue.
Thanks to this campus, in partnership with UAF's Department of Equity and Compliance and Nanook Diversity and Action Center, began hosting a new speakers series, Shine a Light, promoting conversation on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Excellent. I hope you're able to join some of those Shine a Lights. They were outstanding, and I want to recognize Vice Chancellor Stern, who gave the Shine a Light series 2 weeks ago called Lifting the Veil, Colonization, Critical Consciousness, and Community Development in Rural Alaska. Well done, Charlene. I also want to recognize that one of our Q readers up here, Joe Malbert Narvaez, also produced a Shine a Light, and thank you to you. Another, in fact, one of our Q readers will be Ronnie Houchin, and it was another Shine a Light. So thanks so much to all of you. This new series is one of many steps we here at UAF are taking to further the goal of diversity, inclusion, respect, diversity, inclusion, and caring. Okay, and Anna, thank you, and congratulations on your role as Director of Admissions. Okay. Joe, before I get started, anyone who missed a Shine a Light series, they can still watch them, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, they're all queued up. Very good. Okay, this campus, oh no, read me the clue.
All right. This campus worked with a regional hospital to obtain College of Health funding to implement a personal care assistant program.
Ooh, personal care assistant program during this time when healthcare is so important. That's a big deal. Thank you. All right. Now, www.kahoot.it. You got to put that in your, typewriter. All right. All right, there are more than 10 people at the Northwest campus. I want to see some answers up here. Kuskokwim, maybe Kuskokwim, Bristol. I don't know. What do you think, Anna?
Oh, look, you have to, look. You have 46.
We are doing better. Nanook Nation.
Participation.
Nanook Nation, you are doing well. 37% chose the Northwest campus, and you 37% should be eating ice cream. That's right. Our Nome campus, like each of our rural campuses in Dillingham, Bethel, and Kotzebue, is doing great work. I want to acknowledge Director Barb Amarak for her leadership at the Northwest campus. Thank you to all of your staff, to all of our staff out in Nome for their great work. Our Northwest campus students, you belong here, and we are so proud of what you do in the rural sites, and we're very proud of what you each do for this university. Thank you so much, and thanks for participating today. All right. Let's get a few more highlights and achievements. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to talk about COVID, but I have to recognize our facilities crew, who Rafe works for, distributed 64,000 masks to date. So that's so far 64,000 masks, 27,000 pairs of gloves, 324 gallons of hand sanitizer, 358 gallons of spray sanitizer, and gazoodles of signage. And I am told that gazoodles is a real word. It's not really a real word, but it means a lot. It means a lot. Well done. Thank you. And I want to shout out to Bear Edson and the grounds crew for all of their work in keeping that signage up and keeping this campus looking great. And former provost Susan Hendricks gets the assist on the flowers. Thank you, Susan, for all of your work making this campus look great. Yesterday, in fact, on this same note, UAF was awarded UAF was awarded first place in the category of crisis communications for UAF's COVID-19 communications campaign by the Alaska chapter of the Public Relations Society of America. Many Alaska organizations submitted their communication campaigns for this award. UAF's took first place. Thank you so much to our university relations team. Okay, a few other highlights around campus. Of course, many of you who drive past the Alaska Center for Energy and Power's technology facility there are familiar with Dysfunction Junction, as we call it, affectionately call it. Dysfunction Junction was all redone by the city, by the FMATS team, and we really appreciate that and want to thank the FMATS crew and the city for that work. I will say that this junction, Dysfunction Junction, as it's affectionately known, is now much safer for pedestrians. If you're a motorist, it's still basically the same. So you can still call it Dysfunction Junction, but you'll be a lot safer now when you walk through it. So thank you for that. And next, the UAF Military and Veterans Services, actively reaching out to prospective students through campus tours. Right here, I'm in the UA Museum of the North, and we hosted the museum. Prospective military students, 25 at a time, 900 total, from our military bases to come in and experience what UAF has to offer. Thank you for that work. edX, you might have heard of a MOOC, a massively open online course. UAF entered that market. We are participating right now with 2 certificate programs, and we each with 3 courses. The latest course, Climate Change in Arctic Environments, is expected to draw a lot of interest here in Alaska. These MOOC courses, massively open online courses, currently have 15,000 learners taking these UAF courses, and this is drawing a lot of interest in UAF's programs, and many of these learners become UAF students. I want to thank Owen Guthrie and his team, not just for the 15,000 students who are currently, or learners who are currently enrolled in an edX platform, but the goal is 100,000 learners by 2024. And we have a plan and a track to get there, 100,000 learners who will then be exposed to all of the great world-class programs here at UAF. I'd like to recognize our School of Education, receiving a 5-year, $8 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education to expand the Alaska State Mentor Project, which provides support for early career educators. Thank you. UAF now, thanks to the work of Vice Chancellor Julie Queen and her team, is selling power from our 20 megawatt brand new heat and power plant. The 1-year agreement started in April, and UAF will sell around $1.4 million of power to GVEA once our campus needs are met. This will allow UAF to run the plant at higher loads so we can continue monitoring operations and plant efficiency as part of learning this new technology. Thank you to the facilities team. Every year, it seems like I mention the steel bridge team from the Department of Civil Engineering. You might ask, is that because the chancellor was a professor in the Department of Civil Engineering? And it is in fact, well, maybe, but it is in fact not. I mention it every year because every year they seem to win in one or more of the local, regional, or national competitions. The UAF team won the Pacific Northwest Regional competition this past April, and then went to the national competition and won the Frank Hatfield Ingenuity Award. Congratulations to that team. And I will say, they are the winningest team. This is verified. They are the winningest team in the history of that competition, the whole history. UAF, congratulations. World-class experience. And thank you to everyone who participated, especially people who lined the streets for last spring's commencement. And I also will give a shout out to Riley Van Borstel, the ASUAF president, because as we were thinking last year about what are we going to do with commencement during this COVID time, is it in person? It can't be in person entirely. It can't be virtual entirely again. Riley Van Borstel said, we need something in person, and how about a commencement? And this is what came of it. There were 7,000 people that watched on the Facebook Live. The patio parking lot was full, and the streets were lined with faculty, staff, and students in their regalia celebrating. So thank you for that. Okay, a few more accolades. Jennifer Tilbury would like to recognize Jennifer, who's an associate professor of developmental writing and director of student success and instructional support at CTC. She was awarded a grant to create and implement personalized student study plans. Thank you, Jennifer. And of course, Michelle Stalder. Thank you for 40 years of service to UAF. And Michelle was just recognized by the Alaska Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce with the Bernice Joseph Education Advocate of the Year Award. Thank you, Michelle. And Tracy Martinson, you have UAF, an operations support team that is providing day-to-day COVID information for decision-making and for faculty, staff, and students as we navigate this pandemic. Tracy Martinson, who's the head of our environmental health and safety, is the leader of that OST, and I'd like to thank Tracy for her leadership and commitment to a safe environment while still providing education to all those who choose it here at UAF. Thank you, Tracy, and thanks to the whole team. All right. In spring of 2021, Fairbanks Native Association expanded the Native American Career and Technical Education Program to cover books, tuition, and supplies for Alaska Native and American Indian students in 40 programs at UAF's Community and Technical College. Thank you for that. And One Health. We continue to make a difference in One Health for Alaska and the Circumpolar North. And I want to thank Stacy Rasmus, who's the head of Canner, as well as Brian Barnes, the head of INBRI and COBRI, and our C-Trim, Kelly Drew, Arlie Reynolds is Center for One Health, and Karsten Hoifer in the leading the Vet Med program. It's just great stuff, and it's putting UAF on the map worldwide in One Health research. Next, Rev It Up. Rev It Up is I can't decide whether Rev It Up is my favorite day of the year or commencement, and I think it's Rev It Up. Rev It Up is when students move into the dorms at UAF and start their educational career. And what a special day that is. It's also a special day because there's all kinds of people out helping and making new friends and making new partnerships that are going to help students succeed through their career at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. 434 students registered for new student orientation, and I'd like to thank Ronnie Houchin, the staff council president, for leading that effort, Rev It Up, the new student orientation in Starvation Gulch. It was a big job, but it meant a lot, especially during the COVID, to have an environment where students were welcomed individually and personally. Starvation Gulch, of course, very well attended, and I'd like to thank everyone who set that up and masked up and got together in a safe way that they could celebrate one of UAF's traditions, Starvation Gulch. A few rankings. We, of course, continue to do well in the rankings. Again, in 2021, UAF's Best Online Bachelor's Programs by U.S. News and World Reports. Of course, Alaska's National University from U.S. News and World Reports. Top 3.8% worldwide by the Center for World University Rankings, and top U.S. university by state by the World University Rankings. So congratulations. One other thing, we broke a record in the amount of scholarships given this past year. $1.8 million were given in 870 scholarships, a 22% increase over previous years. Thanks to our many, many donors, and thanks to Anna Gagne-Haas and admissions team for getting those scholarships out to the students who need them and the students who earned them, and giving them an opportunity to participate in UAF and participate in growing their own future as well as ours. Also on the development front, since 2018, UAF has almost doubled annual fundraising results, nearly $20 million, $10 million raised in 2021. $10 million, thanks to our donors. Our donors care a lot about UAF and the world-class education that students get here, so thank you so much for that. Okay, now, get your phone back up. We're about ready to play a new game, and I'd like Rod Boyce, Maya Salganic, and Waukee Charles to join me on stage. Okay. All right, Rod, congratulations on being named the new PIO for the Geophysical Institute. My understanding is that you helped develop these clues, but it's not about the GI.
No, it's not about the GI at all. What we want to know from people in the three clues is what funding agency they all have in common.
Ooh, the funding agency. Okay.
And I have the first clue right here.
All right.
A pair of researchers at the Geophysical Institute received funding from this agency to study heat emissions from Alaska volcanoes and volcanoes elsewhere around the globe.
It's not about the GI. Okay, but the answer is not going to be the GI.
No,
it's a funding
not.
agency.
We want to know what the funding agency is that's in common.
Maya, what do you got?
So a Geophysical Institute research professor is on the science team for a mission to Venus, funded by this agency to produce high-resolution images and topography of the planet's surface.
Okay, this researcher is on a mission to Venus. Do we get the researcher back?
Let's hope. I'm sure we will.
It's a long ways to Venus.
It's a long way.
Okay. All right, well, might be a little too easy, though, because that kind of narrows the funding agencies down a little bit. Waukee.
Well, the geophysical scientists specializing in remote sensing worked with this funding agency to make synthetic aperture radar data useful in response to the weather-related disasters, such as the recent Hurricane Ida.
Okay, and all three of you said Geophysical Institute, but this is not about the Geophysical Institute.
No.
Okay. All right, well, thanks, Waukee, and really thank you for taking on the leadership of the Alaska Native Languages Center. It is such a big deal to us here at UAF, and we really value that contribution. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we're ready. We start the 20 seconds and the game music. All right, NOAA, Department of Defense, NASA, or the National Science Foundation. I don't know. It seems to me that two of those, it's all spelled out, and two of them it isn't. That might be a clue. It might not be. What do you think, Maya?
Let's see what our wonderful guests find out.
Ooh, just barely. Very close, but yes, the 33s have it. It was NASA. And that's right, volcanoes, satellite antennas, and the planet Venus have in common that all this work was funded by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, incidentally also at the GI. And Robbie Herrick is not himself going to Venus, but he is working on the project to send a messenger to Venus and get this information back. Thank you so much for each one of you for playing along with this game. And we're getting more and more responses, so what you're doing is working. All right. I want to thank all the UAF researchers involved in this work, all the researchers at the Geophysical Institute and across the university, the GI leader, Bob McCoy, and Vice Chancellor Nettie LaBellehammer, as we continue to push the limits. All right, strategic planning. We have 6 goals, strategic goals here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and I'd just like to recognize each goal and the chair who has set out and put together a strategic goal document that each one of you can look at. It will be published here. I think we're just finalizing the touches on that, but many, many people across the UAF commented and much work was done. Modernizing the student experience, chaired by Alex Hirsch, solidifying our global leadership in Alaska Native and Indigenous programs. Patsy Kapkwiptiwa from CRCD led that, and then Jessica Black, thank you, Jessica, and Yvonne Peter. Achieving Tier 1 research status, led by Taryn Lopez. Transforming UAF's intellectual property development and commercialization enterprise, led by Peter Webley. Embrace and grow a culture of respect, diversity, inclusion, and caring, by Jesse Young Robertson. And I also want to shout out to Margot Griffith, who picked that up as well. So thank you so much. And Diane O'Brien, also thank you. Revitalize Key Academic Programs was chaired by Jen Tilbury. Thank you so much. Each one, if you go to the strategic planning website, there's a video that was made by these individuals, the chairs and their teams. And I'll just show you one, but I encourage you to go and see some of the others. So if you could cue the video.
UAF's strength is its people. By valuing and supporting diversity, equity, inclusion, and caring, we make things better for everyone, ensuring a stronger, richer community into UAF's future. UAF is committed to diversifying its leadership, faculty, staff, and students. We are among only 3% of U.S. universities with a woman of color as provost, and recently hired our first Chief Diversity Officer. UAF is actively developing a strategic plan on inclusive excellence that includes curricular support, workforce diversity planning, student-focused cultural centers, the development of new campus resources and training, and much more. UAF is committed to ensuring a safe and equitable environment for students, staff, and faculty. We have developed clearer procedures for reporting discrimination and strengthened supportive measures. Trainings on bias and other topics are being developed for supervisors, search committees, and the UAF community as a whole. An ongoing compensation review process is ensuring that salaries meet national norms. Expanding resources for families is a high priority, as many of our students, staff, and faculty are working parents. UAF is developing a plan to make the high-quality childcare provided on campus available to more members of our community. We are also designating additional campus nursing spaces to support parents of very young children. UAF emphasizes cultural respect. We honor the connection of Alaska Native people to university lands through a land acknowledgement and with the rededication of the Trothiada Park during UAF's centennial celebration. We are continuing to work on ways to reflect and celebrate UAF's inclusive culture in signage and artwork through the strategic planning process. UAF is committed to supporting mental health, well-being, and connection through the UAF Center for Health and Counseling, the Department of Recreation and Well-being, the Center for Student Rights and Responsibilities, and initiatives like Nanox Care, mental health first aid trainings, Mindfulness Mondays, The Well, and a new one-credit course on happiness and well-being. UAF's strength is its people. It is even more important during challenging times such as budget reductions and the COVID pandemic that UAF continues to foster and grow a culture of respect, diversity, inclusion, and caring, so that regardless of what we look like after times of change, we ensure a stronger, richer community into UAF's future.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much. And in case you didn't recognize that voice from earlier in this program, that was Diane O'Brien. Thank you for your work on that. Okay, you are running out of time to get enough correct answers to feel comfortable about eating that ice cream bar that you're going to get and the t-shirt. So, two more. All right, I'd like to invite our governance representatives to join me on stage. Former faculty senator Amanda White, come on down. Okay. Staff Council President Ronnie Houchin and ASUAF President Riley Van Borstel. Ooh, I keep hearing that music. I like the music. All right, we have to start playing that at the beginning of classes and stuff. Okay, Amanda, I understand that Faculty Senate President Sandra Wildfuhr is unable to join us because she's teaching right now. Thank you for your service as a faculty senator. What do you got?
All right, it is traditional to dress in costumes for bonfires at this location.
Bonfires. I was at Starvation Gulch a lot of times. I didn't see a lot of costumes, although I did have on a fire chief's uniform, but I don't know. Ronnie, do they have costumes at Starvation Gulch?
That's not typically part of the plan for Gulch. This is a different kind of bonfire.
Okay.
I've got another clue for you. So this research station has excellent food, a helicopter, and a sauna.
Whoa. So bonfires, a helicopter, a sauna, and food. I don't know. I feel like I might need to go there, or maybe I have. Okay, Riley, what do you got?
Okay, my clue is this UAF research station is located 370 miles north of Fairbanks.
Okay, so we're not walking. Okay, Starvation Gulch is a lot closer.
Yes.
Okay, but there's no sauna.
No.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet. Maybe
and no
next year.
costumes, maybe next year. Okay. I might know this one. Why don't we just cue up the challenge? It might be Bonanza Creek LTER. I don't know. What do you think, Amanda? Poker?
I don't know.
Poker Flat Research Range. There's only one Poker Flat. Tulip Field Station. Caribou Poker Creek Watershed. Right, Ronnie? Where are you leaning?
I'm not sure.
Riley, what do you think? Oh,
I'm gonna make red.
if you guess Tulip Field Station, yeah, if you are 375 miles north of Fairbanks and you're looking for Poker Creek, you're in the wrong place. Yes, that's right. Tulip Field Station, research station owned and operated, managed by the Institute of Arctic Biology. Interim Director of Institute of Arctic Biology, again, Diane O'Brien, at the University of Alaska Fairbanks with cooperative agreement support from the Division of Polar Programs, Directorate for Geosciences at NSF. Tulip provides housing, meals, laboratories, and science support to researchers from around the world. And I really want to thank Donnie Brett Hart and Brian Barnes for their leadership of this important center that UAF operates. Thank you for your perspectives. Each one of you as governance leaders and for Sandra and your former role, thanks for the relationship that we have and your contribution to decision-making at this university. All right, thank you very much. Couple more accolades to celebrate. If you are in the UA Museum of the North like I am right now, you might see just outside this whale hanging from the ceiling. One of the biggest achievements in terms of size this year, it was a $1 million gift from the Bill Stroker Foundation that allowed us to put that up. Actually, what allowed us to put it up was Alaska Universal Productions, AUP, did the lift. So they lifted the whale, put it into place, and secured it. Thanks so much to the whole team, AUP, thanks to the museum team who put that whale skeleton together. Well done. This, of course, is a world-class museum in a world-class research university, and it shows. We also, UA Museum of the North's director, Pat Druckenmiller, on the left there in your slide, helped lead a team of researchers that discovered a dinosaur nursery that seemed to indicate that some dinosaurs were warm-blooded and lived in the Arctic year-round. Who knew? Arctic Energy Office, George Rowe, on the far left with the sign, the guy that appears to be hitchhiking north to the future. Good luck with that. George, thank you for being the director of the Arctic Energy Office back at UAF. Arctic Energy Office was here earlier. It was moved and then it wound down, but Thanks to Senator Murkowski for getting that Arctic Energy Office back and putting it back at UAF. Rick Toman, lead editor for the 2021 Arctic Report Card. This is a big deal. Nationally, Toman is part of the Alaska Center for Climate Assessment and Policy. Many UAF researchers have contributed to the State of the Climate Report this year and previous years. And then 2/3 of President Biden's recent appointees to the U.S. Arctic Research Commission have been associated with UAF at different times throughout their careers. And I'd like to recognize Dr. Mike Strega, who is now the chair of the Arctic Research Commission. Thank you for your service, everyone in the commission, especially those with UAF ties. Okay, now, one more time to redeem yourself from all of these games. One more time. It's your only chance to be able to eat your ice cream, feeling real good about how many questions you answered. I would like to get Owen Guthrie, Jesse Craig, and Alex Hirsch to help me right here on the stage, if you're back, if you're there. And of course you are. Great. And all decked out in your Nanook gear. Owen, what do you got?
Clue number 1. The University of Alaska Fairbanks has established a new 4-year need-based scholarship program that could cover up to half of tuition costs for undergraduate students who qualify. The Nanook Commitment Scholarship is the only one of its kind in the University of Alaska system.
That sounds like a good deal.
That's an amazing deal.
All right. There's been a great group of thinkers that thought that up.
It's good stuff.
All right. The Nanook Commitment and the Nanook Pledge are our new 4-year continuing scholarships. That's a commitment for 4 years.
That's right, 4 years.
We increased incoming student enrollment again this year. And I want to thank, again, Ana Gagne-Haas and the whole admissions team for their work and support to our incoming students. Jesse, what do you got?
Starting in spring 2021 semester, military service members, reserves, and National Guard UAF students will pay no more than the amount provided by the Federal Tuition Assistance Benefit, which eliminates most of out-of-pocket expenses for military students. So UAF military pricing also removes most fees, and it applies to both in-person and online classes.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Like no out-of-pocket. I mean,
pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good deal. So I see you're wearing an Alaska basketball sweatshirt. And Alaska basketball just got a new head coach for women's basketball. Is that right?
That is correct.
And that's you.
That is correct.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Chancellor White.
Yeah, we are really excited about the upcoming basketball season. Okay, thanks, Jesse. It's important that UAF supports our military and veteran students, and this change in tuition and fees is an important step in that work. So thank you. All right, Alex, last clue of the day.
Last but not least, your third clue, Chancellor. The University of Alaska at Fairbanks has announced the virtual grand opening of the Alaska Esports Center. The plan for the center is to host the UAF Esports team as they join 240 other universities, currently hosting team esports programs. In addition to the 240 schools that host esports teams, there are over 1,350 schools that participate in esports tournaments annually.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
We should just take a minute and acknowledge GCI for their $500,000 gift that made that possible.
Absolutely.
And the esports, so the basketball team can compete in the esports as well. And if you tuned in to Stretch Internet tonight, you would be able to watch the UAF women's volleyball team playing St. Martin's in Vancouver. Simon Fraser in Vancouver.
Yep.
And they have won now 4 straight GNAC matches and received national votes.
Yes, they
national votes in all Division II for the first time in program history. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. We're really grateful. Back to you, Al. We're really grateful to GCI for their continued support. And this initiative, right? This is the game. What initiative did all three of these things come out of? Okay, let's see what we got. Last chance to redeem yourself. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of text. Read quick. Jesse, what do you think?
Oh gosh.
Well, you got blue on, so there's a blue one.
I'll go with blue, yeah.
Don't go with blue. Oh,
Maybe don't go with blue.
I don't know, Owen?
You know, it's blue and gold, so if it's not blue, it must be gold.
Okay, you're not giving really good clues, though. Don't choose what they did. All right, that's exactly right. 43 people get to eat your ice cream and feel good about it. They are all part of strategic enrollment planning. All of these initiatives were conceived and implemented through the UAF's strategic enrollment plan process, and I want to thank the entire SEP steering committee for their hard work. During this past year, enrollment gains are a top priority at UAF, and I feel confident that the work of this group is moving the dial on enrollment. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, Chancellor.
And it's actually almost that's all. It has been quite a year. All during this very challenging time, so many accomplishments. And as we wrap things up today, I just want to end where I started. We are all in this together. It makes me very proud to stand here and share just a smidge of what has been done at UAF this past year and to celebrate just a few of the many accomplishments and many people who make this a great world-class research university. And whether you're at CTC in Fairbanks, whether you're in Fort Yukon or Tok or Nome or Dillingham or Bethel or Kotzebue, whether you're right here on the Trothieta campus, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for persevering. Thank you for your congratulations on your accomplishments. And know that no matter where you are, you belong here.
Hi, this is Dr. Solaire, and we are UAF Department of Music. We are UAF.
You belong here. We are Alaska Sea Grant in Anchorage.
We are UAF.
You belong here.
We are the Academic Advising Center.
And you belong here.
Hello from University Fire Department.
We are
UAF.
And you belong here.
Hello from Alaska Sea Grant in Fairbanks at the Trothieta campus.
We are UAF.
You belong here.
Hello, Untitled Campus above the Arctic Circle in Kotzebue, Alaska. We are UAF. You belong here.
We are the Alaska Center for Energy and Power, located at the University of Alaska Fairbanks campus. You belong here.
Hello from Alaska Sea Grant in Valdez. We are UAF. You belong here.
We are UAF at the Bristol Bay campus, and you belong here.
Hello from Environmental Health,
Safety,
and Risk Management. We are UAF.
You belong here.
Hello from the Alaska Future Teacher Space at the UAF School of Education's Fairbanks location. We are UAF, and you belong here.
The Matanuska Experiment Farm and Extension Center in Palmer. We are UAF. You belong here.
Hi from Northwest Campus in Unalakleet. We are UAF. You belong here.
Hello from Northwest Campus in Nome.
We are UAF.
You belong here.
Hello, the Office of Intellectual Property and Commercialization.
And Alaska Center ICE.
We are located at the University of Alaska Fairbanks on the Fairbanks main campus.
We are UAF.
And you belong here.
Hello from the UAF College of Liberal Arts on the UAF Trothieta campus.
We are UAF.
Hello from College of Fisheries, Ocean Science, and Lena Point in Juneau. We are UAF. You belong here.
Hello, this is Bristol Bay campus in Dillingham. We are UAF, and you belong here.
Hello from the Custom Creek campus in Bethel. We are UAF, and you belong here.
Hello from Alaska Sea Grant in Kodiak. We are UAF, and you belong here.
Hello from Rural Student Services
in Fairbanks, Alaska.
We are UAF.
You belong here.
Hello from the Rasmussen Library.
Rasmussen Library.
Rasmussen Library.
Rasmussen Library.
We are UAF.
We are UAF.
We are UAF.
We are UAF.
You belong here.
Hello from Tulip Field Station. We are UAF. You belong here.
Yeah.
Hello from the School of Education
in Anchorage.
We are UAF.
And you
belong here.
Hello from UAF Community and Technical College in downtown Fairbanks.
CTC Paramedicine and Fire Science at the old U Park building in Fairbanks.
CTC Northern Military Services at Allison and Fort Wayburn.
CTC Process Technology at the Pipeline Training Center in Fairbanks.
CTC Aviation at the Aviation Technology Hangar in Fairbanks.
Canal House Lab School in Fairbanks.
UAF CTC Hospitality.
Hello from CTC Automotive, Diesel, and Welding Programs at Hutchinson Institute of Technology.
We are UAF.
You belong here.
So we're here with the Pacific Marine Energy Center for the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Here at the Tanana River Test Site in Nevada.
You belong.
Hello from Alaska Sea Grant in Petersburg. We are UAF. You belong here.
Hello from eCampus, which is anywhere you are. We are UAF, and you belong here.